Welcome to Football Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading that love of big bad world. Right, Mr. Tom, how are you, my friend? Are you good?
A few hours removed from the football, I'm feeling a lot better than the natural abusive emotions from what happened.
Well, you know what? I've hardly watched the football in the last couple of days for a variety of reasons, but so you're going to have to let me know, give me all the info. What I do know is that City lost to Millwall away at the Den. Um, Typical City. They get a good win during the week and then they lose on the weekend. Typical. Um, Someone put on Facebook a photo of a Millwall ticket. And I was thinking, oh, back in the day, do you know what I mean? I would have been buzzing for this weekend, but not anymore. Not anymore. Anyway, right, as Mr. Tom said, you mentioned the scores. Let's check the scores out, yeah? Okay. There we go. Courtesy of Flash. In the Premier League. In the Premier League, we had Newcastle 4, Tottenham 0. Gee, what happened to Tottenham then? Tom? Bloody hell.
It's hard to say because it is Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. And they're going for that fourth or fifth spot, didn't they?
Crazy.
Brentford beating Sheffield United 2-0. Burnley 1, Brighton 1. Man City 5-1 in the end against Luton. Do you think that's the end of Luton now, Tom?
Sadly. I mean, it's hard to say because you don't know if anyone else is going to get any points taken off them at this stage. Because it's hard to know. But deep down, yeah, and they're done.
Forest 2-all at home to Wolves.
It's only 1 point now, actually, bro. The gap.
Sorry?
The gap between Forest and Luton's 1 point.
Well, all right, I'll get the. I tell you, the fixtures aren't good for Luton. I don't think. Hang on, we'll just, and the other was also 2-all at Bournemouth, and we'll talk about Bournemouth very shortly and what happened after that. Right. Can you see it, Tom?
I can't. I can see on my end it is showing the scores. The Man City Luton, for example.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, here we go. That better?
Yeah. I can see the table now,
yeah.
mate.
Right, so we got Man City top now. Yeah. We've got Man City top. Obviously, Arsenal and Liverpool got a game in hand. We top City top by 2 points. This is interesting one with Tottenham losing to Newcastle. That 4th and 5th spot. It's still a bit of a gap. 10 points between them. You know, it's either going to be Villa, Tottenham. I think, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, saying that, yeah, you're probably right. But obviously, if Arsenal beat Aston Villa tomorrow, Villa will swap with Tottenham because of the goal difference.
Tottenham will have a game in hand.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. I still think it'll be Tottenham just by virtue of, they always tend to foul upwards, let's just say.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And the middle of the table is more or less the same. Now we go down to the bottom. Right. Well, Everton have 2 games in hand. Okay. Now you can count Sheffield United gone. In my opinion, Burnley have gone. Although recently they've been collecting a few points here and there. This Luton 25, Forest 26, Everton 27. But Everton do have 2 games in hand. But can they get anything from those 2 games? We'll have to wait and see. You know what? Palace. Now, bearing in mind they changed their manager recently, the form still hasn't improved. And they're only 5 points away. And look at their form. Loss, draw, loss, and loss.
They'll be fine by the virtue that the Championship 3 there are just so weak.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason it's as close as it is because the other 2 teams above Luton have had points removed. Or as they'd all be dead and buried, to be fair.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, I think. What's Everton's fixtures now, yeah? The remaining fixtures. What's these? Right? Now, anyone who says Everton don't have their future in their own hands is a Billy bullshitter, if I'm honest with you. Right? They have got the remaining fixtures. On Monday, they got Chelsea away. Then they got Forest, right? They got Liverpool. Then they got Brentford over there. Then they got Luton and then Sheffield United. They got four fixtures there against teams who are, they got 4 6-pointers, basically.
Yeah. Exactly. And you're missing out. They've got 3 games in a row at home, I believe. So they'll be fine. I hate that.
Yeah.
They will be fine, but I'm not happy about it, but they will be fine.
Right. Let's have a look at the Championship, yeah? Let's have a look at the Championship. Okay. Leeds lost to Blackburn. What happened, Tom? What happened, my friend?
Oh, good. Oh, it's terrible. It was the most championshipy thing you'd ever see. The game went if you can imagine how this game went, it will be how it went. We dominated the ball. We had everything. Couldn't score though. In my opinion, didn't get off enough shots. Didn't do enough to win the game. We failed. Not good enough. Blackburn, who I believe had
one. Leicester to get back.
Well, Leicester lost last night, mate. Leicester lost to Plymouth.
But they lost to Plymouth. But after that game, they thought their chances are gone.
Yeah. Oh no, with the reality is that it's become a 4-team race again because Southampton, if they win their 2 games in hand, they go level on points with Leeds. So they've got to win those 2 games though, which obviously is easier said than done. But the reality is that 2 of the teams are going to limp over the line, and everyone's trying their best to not get promoted, basically.
Well, Coventry lost to Bristol City. Coventry lost to Birmingham 3-0. Fucking hell. Bristol City drew with Huddersfield. Hull beat QPR 3-0. Ipswich 1-0 with Borough. Millwall beat Cardiff 3-1. Were you up to Cardiff? Preston lost to Norwich 1-0. Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 with Stoke. Southampton 3-2 against Watford. Them down the road beat Rotherham 1-0. And Sunderland went to West Brom.
It's depressing.
And let's have a look at the table here. Ipswich are top, but Leicester got a game in hand. Let's say Ipswich could only draw today with Middlesbrough. They would have put some gap in between them and Leicester otherwise. Even though Leicester lost yesterday to Plymouth, everything went for them, really, Tom.
Yeah, basically. Arguably, and I may sound really bitter saying this, but if they go up after the fall they had in form, it'd be an absolute disgrace, travesty.
Yeah.
To the arrogance of them to feel like they don't have to submit their financial accounts because they don't think they're going to be in this league next year.
Well, there was I've done a video on it after listening to like Kieran Maguire and other football financial experts, and it's absolutely shocking the way they've just try to palm both the Premier League and the EFL off. It's shocking, basically. And well,
Leeds' account came out the other day.
Being a Cardiff fan, I was talking about this earlier on, actually, to a good friend of mine, because they're on about playoffs. Being a Cardiff fan, I've followed football on and off for best part of, call it 40 years. And I've never felt so down and so bad after a football game when I did a playoff final against Blackpool, a few years ago now. The playoff is a lottery, mate. Would you fancy your chances in a playoff? Because as it stands, it's looking Leeds, Southampton, West Brom, Norwich as it stands,
Absolutely not. More so because we've beaten Norwich twice. So they're going to be so up for it because they're on their form. They're on massive.
Yeah.
Not a win streak. There's not necessarily a win streak, but they're winning more games right now than they're not, and we're the opposite. And it's just
only one win in the last 5, man.
Yeah. And did you happen? I know you said before you hadn't seen anything. If you saw these decisions, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and say we deserve to beat Sunderland on Tuesday night, finish 0-0. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to lie and say we deserve to win, but we should have won based on the fact that we had 2 handball decisions that should have been given. And before anyone says, "Oh, you just salty because you didn't win," no. Luke 09 he jumped above every player and punched the ball on the corner, and the ref was like, "Nah, didn't see it," sort of thing. And it's like, if you just apply, whether Leeds deserve to win or not, we all deserve the rules to be applied correctly.
Yeah. I agree on that. And that Arsenal, where that Gabriel picked the ball up in midweek.
Yeah.
For the referee to say, he couldn't give it because it was a schoolboy error, I think the referee should be fucking sacked for that.
Schoolboy error will, you know.
I mean, basically, what isn't the schoolboy error then? I've seen schoolboys do 2-footed tackles on people. Is that a schoolboy error?
I don't know many schoolboys that would commit that handball. I think it's an insult for schoolboys, to be honest.
Good shout. We'll go back to the table for a minute. Because this is so interesting. The bottom of the championship is Rotherham completely gone. But they all seem to be picking points up here and there now, Tom, Because Sheffield Wednesday all the way up to Blackburn in 17th. There's only 5 points between the what's that, 6 teams, yeah? No, 7 teams.
Brownie, I can tell you the most championshipy thing ever. Okay. A guy named Billy Reid, he runs a Twitter account called Out of Context Football Manager. Very successful, does a great job. He supports Leeds, and on his personal Twitter, he wrote this: Blackburn have won once in the last 13 games. Leeds can go first in the table with a win at home. And Blackburn's last game, the previous game in midweek, they lost 5-0 to Bristol City. Every Leeds fan knows what's actually going to happen today. To which then a Leeds fan wrote, nailed on, Blackburn will win 1-0.
Unbelievable. We got Pitchside coming into the chat. Hi, Pitchside. Hope you're well. You said, what team do you support? I'm a Cardiff fan. Mr. Tom is a Leeds fan and pitchside supports Portadown in Northern Ireland.
I do know of Portadown because of my excursion in, as I said before, in Football Manager. I have occasionally played in the Northern Irish League. Well worth Portadown town.
And Ethan is in the chat as well.
Excuse me, it's rude of me.
Well,
hello, Ethan.
We'll have a little conversation about this, right? Because I've done a video literally minutes before we went live. Garnacho, have you seen the tweet, Mr. Tom?
I've not, but I know he must have done something because I did see on the community tab that you had noted he had done something. So I was like, is he like something slagging off Ten Hag by any chance?
Yes. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Oh, this proxy computer is so slow. Right. Mark Goldbridge. Obviously, he was doing a watch along at the time. Ten Hag blaming Garnacho in his press conference isn't a good look. He's thrown a 19-year-old under the bus who's actually delivered for him this season. But then again, he's clearly scared of upsetting the bigger earners. Now, that's the tweet Mark Goldbridge done, and which is liked by Garnacho himself.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, Ten Hag in a press conference walked out of his press conference earlier on today when a question was put to him if he wanted to make any comment or possibility of Manchester United finishing in a lowest ever Premier League position. So, what's going to happen in Man United? Is this an incoming Pep Southgate incoming?
To be honest, I don't really feel that there's not really much they can do. Like basically, the person that's the manager is essentially being sorry, I'm starting. In that club, if you are the manager, you are essentially being paid to take the blame when things go wrong because they're not giving them. They're spending a lot of money. Like they've spent just as much money as Man City. People will say they've not spent as much money as Man City, but they spend a lot of money on humans, essentially, on footballers. They spend a lot of money on them, but Man City spend a lot of money and then win everything. Whereas Man United spend a lot of money and then we sit here every 18 months going, should they sack the manager or not? Like, what's going to change? Like, if they give the job to Southgate, we'll be still sitting here in 18 months' time going, do you think, and like name whoever Flash Manager of the Month will be in 20 months' time, like, do you think they should replace Southgate with Thiago Motta or whatever?
Yeah.
But like, that's irrelevant whoever the name is, but that's the sentiment, because like we've been here with Ralph. Ralph's going to go. Let's bring in Ten Hag, and then before Ralph was the saviour. And when I say saviour, I mean we all sit here hoping they fail.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, they should not sack Ten Hag at all. They should continue as they're doing, because behind the scenes, whatever they're doing is not working. If you count a Carabao Cup as working, then fine. But a lot of people in the football community do not count a Carabao Cup as a validation of your football project.
Yeah, no, I agree. Basically, if we go back to Arteta when he first came in, right, and he made a statement. After a little while, he made a statement, and the statement was, get rid of Ozil and get rid of Aubameyang. Now that really made a statement and put a stamp to the post of Arsenal manager. Now that went against the fans' opinion, most of the fans' opinion, right? Now in my opinion, Ten Hag, if he wants to save his job, he needs to do something similar, and he needs to sell Rashford. You need to sell Rashford. If he can, let's be honest, if he can, I'm not a FIFA player where you sell. You know, these days it has to be in agreement with a player. Like last year, he told Maguire, apart by all accounts, look, you're not in my fucking plans. You know, it's best for you to move.
Yeah.
Maguire said, I don't want to move. So he didn't, so he couldn't move.
That was more, I think that was more, it was like, you got to keep in mind, Maguire's on a lot of money, and there's probably only a certain, the sort of teams that can afford Harry Maguire's wages probably don't think Harry Maguire's good enough to start for them, in all truth.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. You know, let's put me in, if I was a player nowadays, if I was a player now, and I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I was earning, call it 150k a week, call it, yeah?
Yeah, cool.
And I was tied down to a 5-year contract, knowing that I'd be 150k a week until I'm 32, 33, right? As I'm hitting 29, 30, a year or two into that 5-year contract, the manager comes to me. I'm not getting picked every week. The manager says to me, look, it's best you move on. You know what I would say to that manager? Yeah, are you fucking crazy? I'm going to be here right until the end, and then I'm going to make myself a free agent, bro.
100% agree.
I don't even care if I'm not playing.
100% agree, because they, like, all footballers want to play football, but a lot of footballers do surround themselves with people that have their financial interests in mind, let's just say, and they're going to turn around to him and go, no one else is going to pay you £150 a week.
Yeah.
Or the teams that would pay you, as I said earlier, teams that would pay you it ain't going to play you. So you'd still be sitting there going, why not playing football? I should be in this team. So I find it fascinating, because everything you just said there is spot on. These players, it'd be stupid. It'd be a stupid human. Don't get me wrong, right? If he turned around and went, I want to play football, and this is why I'm taking an 80 grand pay cut, everyone would be like, fine, whatever. In fact, loads of people would love it, because they'd be like, that's the sort of player you want at your club, and all stuff like this. But in reality, it's like, the best example I can think of for this, I don't know if you would remember it, or if Ethan would remember it. Winston Bogarde used to play for Chelsea. He signed a 4-year contract with Chelsea in the year 2000. And basically, about, I could be wrong here, but let's just say that 8 games into the contract, Chelsea sacked the manager, and I think they brought in Claudio Ranieri. I could be wrong here. I think they sacked Bialy, brought in Claudio Ranieri, and Ranieri took one look at him and went, "No, you're not getting into my team." But at the time, 40 grand a week was the equivalent of like what Harry Maguire's getting now. Sort of.
Yeah.
40 grand went a lot further 24 years ago.
You could get a player's acceptance for any move when they're on big money is if Man United say, look, we'll subsidise it so that you'll have the same money. You know?
Yeah.
Right, let's see what Ethan says in the chat. Sorry, mate. The ownership is definitely blamed for. The ownership is blamed for last 20 years. Cycle of managers. I agree. Regarding what's happened tonight, I don't see a problem with Garnacho liking something against him. But listen, things should be done in-house, in my opinion. In the changing rooms. That's a public, as a public comment, basically. Garnacho done, and it's not good. I know these youngsters, and I know a lot of them are hot-headed, but things like that should be kept in-house, in my opinion, Tom. They know what happened to Jadon Sancho after he went public, and maybe that's what Garnacho wants himself, but I don't know.
I think he thinks that his one last strand of power is to actually dig out the players, because it's like, I'm entitled to my own opinion and all that, and it's like, yeah, but you should dig out a lot more than just one of the youngest players in the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
try and motivate him.
You should dig out the selective weaker players.
Yeah.
Ethan then goes on to say, like I said, I think it should stick with Ten Hag, but you got to take a blame. Still got McTominay at the club. Yeah.
But as I was saying before, the important thing is that Winston Bogard made a point because they offered him money to break his contract. Like, we'll pay you 2 years of your contract. Go and find another club. That's not factually true, but that was the sort of spirit of what. And he went, no, I signed a 4-year deal. I'm going to. I'll turn up for every training session. Anything club related, which is part of my contract, I will turn up. I'll turn up. If you're not going to play me, I will turn up to watch the game. I'll do whatever it takes. So you cannot sack me for breach of contract. And that's what happened for 4 years.
And honestly, I would act like that. Even if Ten Hag made it public, Ten Hag did make it public, but sometimes it's the best move is to be the better person. And if Garnacho kept his mouth shut, then all the egg would have been on Ten Hag. At its now, in the public domain, you got both. Garnacho's taken a lot of a flack for Ten Hag going public by going public himself. Sometimes it's just better to be the better person in life.
He was like, I'm a 30-year-old footballer. No one on this planet is going to give me 40 grand a week, so I'm going to sit here and collect my 40 grand a week.
Yeah, and then when your contract ends, you're going to go as a free agent, and then you're going to bag even more cash.
Yeah, well, I think he actually retired after that because again, word then got round like we ain't gonna sign this guy because he's just gonna sit here and take our money. but still,
that's a real world, Tom, isn't it? I'm sick. I did watch United stand a couple of days ago, and with United, I don't know if you watch it, Tom. Because
I've only watched the clips of it.
I don't like Goldbridge, and in my opinion, with United stand, no Goldbridge, no party really. And I was watching the other day. I was watching a couple of the other presenters, and they all fucking play. As if they're playing FIFA. Oh, right, okay. One of them listed about 10 fucking people they were going to sell in the summer. I thought, are you fucking crazy or what? Do you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'll give it to him, and then I'm bringing him, I'll create fucking 100 million, and then I'll bring in, fuck off, man. Do you know what I mean? It's pathetic, some of the bloody mindsets of football fans at times.
I've got a question for Ethan, right? And there's no right or wrong with this, it's just his opinion. You say he earned it last season. What do you consider to be earning here? Or you say he's got one more season in the bank because he earned it. What did he do to earn it? Again, I'm not going to mock whatever you say. I'm just wondering, from my own curiosity, what do you feel earning? Or what is I'm guessing he's for Manchester United. Yeah. What do you class as earning it? Brownie need to sell 10+.
Right.
It's true. Football players.
Yeah, they need to sell. Yes, they do need to, but they wouldn't because the players wouldn't tell them, fuck off, they're not fucking moving. They need to sell the whole fucking squad in some people's opinions. But listen, you're talking about human beings. If a club went to me, like, you're no longer in our plans, we're going to sell you, fuck you. I'm keeping to my contract. It's you give me the big contract in the first place. You are going to fucking see it out as well as I am. I think he's earned it because he got second with one of the poor squads in history.
I thought Mourinho got you second.
Yeah, Mourinho said, as well documented, wasn't it? Mourinho said that one of the biggest achievements in his career was taking that Man United squad to second.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, a distant second, to be fair.
you have to think. You have to. I'm no Man United supporter, but obviously they're in the news all the time. But you do have to think, right? Where would they be now if a club done what they should have back then, which would support the manager and get rid of Pogba?
Yep.
You know, you have to think what where United would have been. You know,
But like people say, Brownie, like, oh, basically, I think it was really cunning of Ten Hag to pick a fight with Ronaldo, because although he was like a legend there and like he's one of the best players ever and that, ultimately he's still picking a fight with a 36-year-old footballer.
yeah.
He ain't like if he picks a fight with a 26-year-old Ronaldo, he ain't winning.
Yeah.
But
Is that the same mindset about picking a fight now with Garnacho? He's picking fights with players which I wouldn't say Garnacho is on a fringe now, but you know what I mean. You know, outside the kind of yeah, that's a bully tactic basically. It's a bullying tactic, isn't it?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I mean when Mourinho does it, he's evil, but like because obviously Mourinho has his thing where like he always like ostracises one player from the squad, like for example Luke Shaw and Danny Rose at Tottenham. Like it's just a player like he uses to like make a statement of how ruthless he is to the rest of the gang. And Ten Hag chose a 36. Obviously, if I'm wrong about the age, then fine. But it's the exact age isn't my biggest point. But like 36-year-old Ronaldo, and it's like okay, because eventually he's going to drop off. So then you feel more empowered by your decision to go. I don't think you're the man around here anymore, kind of thing. But because he's not, I mean, because he's not going to get better. In footballing years, he's like 700.
Yeah, I mean,
The last those two.
by all accounts, it's like it's a British contingent within the Man United changing room, isn't it? And another the British contingent, what is it? Rashford, Maguire, and so on, are obviously on bigger money. And with fucking Jim Ratcliffe going all British with his backroom, okay, he didn't with our Man City guy, but it looks like a British bloody Pep Southgate is going to be coming in. You got that guy from Newcastle now, Dan Ashworth, who was with West Brom with Roy Hodgson. He was with the English setup there. He was at Brighton and so on. So is that the kind of mindset? Okay, Ten Hag is thinking, right, listen, I need to get in with the English fucking part of a changing room now. Do you know what I mean? Just to fucking keep going here, basically. Do you know what I mean? Is that his fucking mindset? Is that his tactic?
You could be right. There's something just not right there, is there? And it's like a long term not right. It's not you can sit there and say like, "Oh, Ten Hag's doing this and that," but it goes deeper than that because one of the first things I said is it doesn't seem to matter who's in charge there. There are people above him. It's like a recruitment issue. There's somewhere above him that just picks the wrong players, wrong personalities. Big time Charlies, some would say, is a word phrase. That I think is accurate. Something's rotten in Denmark with that club, and I'm all for it personally as a Leeds United fan. I'm all for it, but obviously, just for the objective conversation of it, we can sit here and forensically pinpoint what is wrong with them. Yeah. It's up to them to fix it, and obviously, I hope they don't. But for Ethan's sake,
I find it fascinating, really, because I do find it fascinating because a lot of it is in the public domain, and it's laughable in a way as well, But we'll see what happens there. Wrexham, I think, have gone promoted today as well. Wrexham and Stockport, I think, promoted today. That's 2 promotions on the trot for both clubs.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it, though. You certainly wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't know Stockport got promoted because it's not about Stockport, is it?
I know. But, fair play to how do you think he'll get off in League One?
Fair enough. Who do you support, Ethan? Just for the record, I'll try and remember it. Sorry, Mr. Brownie. What was
no. How do you think he'll get off in League One?
I think they'll be fine. Actually, it's hard to say because
there's some big clubs in League One.
There is. They're going to find it's a big step up because they're going to be playing against teams that have actually played in the Premier League. Yeah. I mean, admittedly, it's not a massive pool of teams, but they will go to 1 or 2 places that have had Premier League football grace the grass, let's just say. But
and look at the teams that potentially we looked at the Championship table. Look at the teams that could well be going down.
Exactly right. Don't get me wrong. I personally think they'd do well. It's hard to say. My instinct is to say they'd do well to survive the first year because of the step up in class. Yeah. You've got to keep in mind, much of their squad they've had in the the Vanarama National, whatever it is they call it now with respect. It's very... I know they bought Paul Mullin when he was like, let's say, respectively, realistically, he was a League One striker, and he dropped down into the non-league. Now, again, people gonna say, "Oh, cause he got a lot of money for that league." I think they would also say he's gonna say it's because he got to be closer to his family. I think it kind of helped that he got to meet a superhero. I think a lot of people that go there do so just because they're mesmerised by the ownership. As silly as that sounds. That's my one real controversial take on Wrexham. It's just that I feel like people get enamoured by meeting celebrities.
Yeah,
I get enamoured by it.
Is it a fairy tale? Is it a fairy tale for you, or?
Nah.
I know a lot of Wrexham fans. I do know a lot of Wrexham fans.
They will think it is. They're entitled to think it is because their club were in the fucking doldrums, pardon my language.
You're right. We're in that non-league for like 10 years or something in the end.
They're more than entitled to think that. I'm not gonna try and piss on their party or piss on their parade or anything. But congratulations, well done. But obviously, my actual feelings on it are essentially this is the outcome that should happen when you're spending over the average of the other teams in the league you are in.
Yeah. What I do find interesting, I listened to Kieran Maguire. You mentioned this. Was it when the Wrexham accounts were published? But basically, the owners, because of like TikTok advertising and everything, the owners have hardly put any money in, and the money they have put into Wrexham, they lend in Wrexham at about 3 or 4% interest. So that's something. Listen, if it helps the club get promoted, but it's not sustainable. That is not sustainable. And I'm predicting if they get to the Championship, I'm predicting they try and sell it at that point. Do you know what I mean? But all loans from McAvenny and all that, they loaned at 3%. So it'd be interesting to see, just how much he would make out of that. Do you know what I mean? If he did sell further down the line.
I do apologise, Brownie. I just got to change my earbuds there. The
No
battery
worries.
is a lot lower than I thought. Please excuse me.
No problem, mate. No problems. Hi, Rich. Hope you're well, my friend. Richard is in the chat. To be quite honest, honest with you guys, it wouldn't be not much longer now. Anyway, it's not going to be much longer anyway, Tom. Not a chance they're selling a championship. They want Prem. They're in it for life. No chance of it in it for life, mate. Listen. If you're in it for life, right now, Richard Cox knows in the chat he's a West Ham fan, right? No chance you in it for life. Okay, West Ham, the owners used to lend the club money, basically at a much higher percent, say like 10-15%. The Wrexham owners are loaning the club at 3%. Okay, now they will get to a point. Listen, when you get into even championship levels, you're battling against very rich owners in championship levels, and it's a casino in the championship, as you know, Tom, because everyone's going for that golden Premier League ticket. But in my prediction, we could bail out in a championship, or even if they went to a Premier League. They quickly bail out then because it's unsustainable, not for a club for Wrexham.
I think with a club like Wrexham, they've obviously done very well. Goes without saying. But we've not seen any true adversity for their club. They are in a situation where they've basically won and won and won. So of course it's a lifetime party atmosphere at the moment.
Yeah.
There's what happens on a year where they actually like their signings don't pan out, or like Paul Mullin suddenly comes up against defenders he isn't better than. Like, what do they do then? What they do when it comes to they have these conversations. There's going to come a time when they have a conversation. Do we need to sack Phil Parkinson? That's the Disney episode I want to watch.
Right, listen, Tom, your microphone is playing up again. I could hear you, but it is playing up. We are going to knock on ahead. We're going to knock on ahead. It's 40 odd minutes. I need to use a toilet as well. Your microphone is playing up. But hey, thanks guys for joining. Tom, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you for your support. Much appreciated.
Testing. Okay.
All right, mate.
Good night.
You take care. Thanks, guys, and speak to you soon. Watch the video regarding Akanacho, and I'll catch you later. Hasta luego.